Good morning, students. Welcome back to the online session of Design and Analysis of Algorithms. In this session, we'll be taking up the concept of Dijkstra's algorithm. So, the main purpose of Dijkstra's algorithm is to solve the problem of single source shortest path. Means, for a given graph, one node, any random one node is considered as source vertex. Okay, and from that source vertex we have to find the shortest path to all the other vertices of the given graph. Take some time, analyze the statement, please understand. Okay, Dijkstra's algorithm is used for solving single source shortest paths problem. Means, for a given weighted connected graph, any one vertex is considered as source node, and from that particular source node we will be finding the shortest path for all its other vertices. Okay, so it is one of the famous greedy algorithm. It follows the greedy method. It is used for solving single source shortest path problem. It computes, as we already discussed, it computes the shortest path. It computes the shortest path from one particular source node to all the other remaining nodes of the given graph. Okay, it is not like just covering up the all the nodes with minimum edges. Like, it's not a spanning tree. The concept of Kruskals and prims to find the minimum spanning tree is different from Dijkstra's agenda. Here we will speak with respect to one particular source node. From that particular node we will be finding the minimum paths to all the other nodes, of the given graph. The agenda is this. With this understanding of the purpose of Dijkstra's algorithm, we'll proceed. Okay, so in this session I have planned to make you understand of this concept with the help of the output of a program. So okay, we'll come in reverse way. We shall just have a try of this method. So this is the output of your lab program, Dijkstra's algorithm. So this is the considered graph that you are seeing in your display. This we are considering for our example, and we have given the cost matrix of the corresponding graph. I think you can cross check. The cost matrix is of the given graph: 1 to 1 0, 1 to 2 1, 1 to 3 it is 4, 1 to 4 there is no direct connectivity, no direct edge, and hence this is represented as 999. I think it follows the same. Next, enter the source vertex. Please try to understand how the output of the Dijkstra's algorithm is obtained. What is the step-by-step output? Okay, then we shall try to understand how it is done. Okay, enter the source vertex. We can consider any vertex among the given graph as source vertex, not only one. Okay, we can randomly select any one of the vertex as source vertex. In this example we are considering it as 1 as the source vertex, and hence it has been indicated with an arrow mark. Just nothing, it is not related to graph, and I have just indicated that is the source node vertex through an arrow mark. Okay, so in output what it is showing, it is showing the shortest distance between. So as per the agenda of the Dijkstra's algorithm, it must have to find the minimum path from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Even though there is no direct edge from 1 to 4, it must have to find the minimum path. Okay, so the shortest distance between 1 to 2 is 1. So 1 to 2 we are having direct edge with cost 1, so it is mentioning here as an output. So what is the path? There is a direct path 1 to 2, it is mentioned here. So next, the shortest distance between 1 to 3, it must be, here it is 4, but it is giving 3. Can you make it out why? Can you make it out why? Output is correct. Here it is 4, but is it shortest? No, I am having another alternative way here. From 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Here it is showing the path from 3. It is showing the reverse path. Okay, from 3 to 2, 2 to 1, or you can read it out like this: 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So this is 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2. So this is the shortest. Even though I'm having the direct connectivity or adjacency with cost of 4, so this will be the shortest path to reach out from 1 to 3, and it is mentioning the same here. Okay, next, the shortest distance between 1 to 4. 1 to 4, there is no direct connectivity. No, there is no adjacency. We must have to find the, consider all the possible paths from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, one path, 1 to 3, 3 to 4, one path, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, one path. So I must have to consider all the options, and which is the best option among the options. I must have to select that as the shortest distance. As per the output, the shortest distance is 6. And what is the path? 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. This is the shortest path with 6. And any other the paths, if you consider, it will be more than 6. And then this shortest, this is considered as the best shortest possible path from 1 to 4. Okay, I think you have understood the output, the graph with respect to the one particular source node. And this is how Dijkstra's algorithm works, and this is our agenda. This is the main purpose. What is? To find the minimum or shortest path from one vertex to all remaining nodes of the given graph. Understanding this, we shall proceed further. We shall just discuss a small example that has been given in your textbook. This has been given, selected, taken directly from your prescribed textbook. We shall just have a brief discussion on this, and we shall wind up the session of the day. Okay. So there are various approaches, the various procedures can be considered for solving the problem. Okay. So one of the approach, as per your book, is follows like this. So this is the given graph. You can observe the given graph is here. Next. Okay. So consider the source vertex as A, and I repeat, the starting vertex need not be the source vertex all the time. You can randomly select any of the vertex in the given graph as source vertex. In this example, they have considered A as the source vertex, and from A I must have to reach all the vertex with all the other nodes with minimum possible paths. Okay. So remaining vertices. So starting vertex is A. What are the remaining vertices? B. From B, from A I can reach directly with to B. Okay. So on this we will be spending 15 minutes more, okay, to understand this example clearly, so that it will be very useful for us to understand the implementation of Dijkstra's algorithm, which will be the part of our lab program syllabus. Okay. So in this session only this example is covered and it will be ending. So please concentrate. So if we consider A as the source node, what are the remaining vertices now? B, C, D, E. So as per the observation, we are not having direct connectivity from A to C. So it is infinity and hyphen. Okay. There is no direct connectivity from A to E, because at starting, we must have to consider which are all the vertices directly reachable from A to A. So that is A to B with cost 3 and A to D with cost 7 here. So among B and D, so which is minimum? Which is minimum? This is 3 and this is 7. So 3 is minimum. I will select 3. I will select 3. So which are the selected vertices now? First vertex is A. Then next selected vertex is B. Okay, we'll proceed further. So both the vertices are selected now. We must have to consider both the vertices in our next consideration. Means to proceed with the remaining reachability. Okay, so with B, what is indicated here? From A I can reach B with the distance of 3, with the cost of 3. So I repeat, to understand this, the node is B. So how to reach the node B? I must have to reach the node B with from A. So this represents the previous node or previous vertex. From A I will reach B with the cost 3. This must have to be read like this. From A, I can reach B with cost 3. Okay, then which are the other vertices that can be reached both from A and B? Because we must have to consider both A and B now. So I can reach C. Yes, I can reach C from where? Can I reach C directly from A? No, I can reach C from B. Hence, I can reach C from B with how much cost? 3 plus 4. Why 3 plus 4? Because To reach B, I will be having the cost of 3 from A, because as I told, with respect to the source node only, we must have to think. What is the source node? A. So if I want to reach C, first I must have to reach B according to the notation. So to reach B, there is a cost 3. There is a cost 3. So from B, there is a cost of 4. So here it is written 3 plus 4. So if I have to reach C from B, the total cost is 3 plus 4. Why 3 plus 4? From A to B, it is 3. From B to C, it is 4. At this point of time, it is like this. Okay, D. There was direct connection from A to D with cost of 7. Now we are having another option, 2. Here 2. So can I directly come from B to D? No, because the source node is A. So A to B, B to D. So how much is the cost? 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2. So earlier there was a path, but the cost was 7. Now I have find out the new path, 3 plus 2, that is 5. That is minimum than 7. So 3 plus 2 is considered. Earlier there was a consideration for a path between A and D. There was a path existing, but the cost was 7. Now it has been updated with better possible path. It has been updated with better cost. What is the better cost? From B, yes, here it is. From B, I can reach. From A through B, I can reach D with path cost of 3 plus 2. Okay, from B and A, there is no connectivity directly to E, so it remains infinity as it is. So I am having two options now: node C, node D. This is 3 plus 4, this is 3 plus 2. Of course 3 plus 2 is 5. This is minimum, and hence I will consider D as selected node. From A, B, C, which the other nodes are reachable. So remaining nodes A, B, C is covered, remaining are, sorry, A, B, D is covered, remaining are C and E. So I can reach C. 3 plus 4, it is written, and it is kept as same 7. Okay, kept as same, because even though I can reach C from D, what is the cost? 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, sorry, 5 plus 5, 10. I am having an alternative path, but this is not minimum than previously existing. Previously existing is 7. So I cannot find any better path. I can find a new path, of course, but it is not better than previously existing. Previously existing is A to B, B to C. Of course, I can find a path from A to B, B to D, D to C, but it is not better. It is not comparatively better than the existing. So I maintain this same. I will not update this. Okay, E. Can I reach E now? Yes. From D, I can reach E. Okay, because the considered nodes are A, B, D. So from A, I cannot reach directly E. B, no direct connectivity, but from D, I can reach E. So what is the cost? 3 plus 2 plus 4. So 3 plus 2, it is 5. 5 plus 4 is the cost to reach E. I think it is clear. So among this C and E, which is minimum? C is minimum. Okay, because it is 7, this is 9. So I will select C. So now A, B, D, C are the nodes selected. So which other nodes I can reach? That is only remaining is E. So E, which is having better path. So see here, 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 4, this is 9. So I had written it before itself. 5 plus 4, this is 9. Am I having any other better path? So this is 7 plus 4, this is 11. This is 3 plus 4 plus 6, this is more than 9. So of course I am not having any better path than A to B, B to D, D to E, that is 9. So this node is considered with 9. So here is the summary of their explanation. From A to B, I can reach in terms of 3. In the meanwhile, you have to refer this diagram as well. Okay, this diagram. Okay, from A to B, there is direct path with cost of 3. From A to D, there is a path of length 5, but through B, I must have to reach, not directly. Next line, from A to C, how I can reach? From A to B, B to C, there is a minimum path. From A to E, the path is, the minimum path length is 9. And what is the path? A to B, B to D, D to E, D to E. Okay, so this is how stepwise consideration, or stepwise you must have to go on adding the edges. And finally, you have to find the shortest path from one given source node to all the other vertices of the given graph. So this is how the Dijkstra's algorithm works, and this is the simplest explanation that you can have for better understanding. So go through the video again, so revise the concepts and make it understand, so that you'll be ready for the session of implementation of Dijkstra's algorithm soon. Thank you.